So today I'm going to teach you guys about some text effects in motion graphics. All right, so what is a motion graphic? Well, it's literally what it sounds like. It's literally just a graphic with motion. It's moving in some way, shape, or form. But first, I have to actually show you guys how to, put graphics in, put text in, all that stuff. So I have already created a folder for you that's called Text Effects in Motion Graphics. You're going to go and just put that folder in your Computer Science OneDrive folder. And then you'll just need to double click on this and you'll double click on that. And it should just open up like this. Ignore all of this. All right, so this is exactly what your setup should look like. If not, you just make sure that your workspace is set to effects. And if it still doesn't look like that, go to Window, Workspace, and hit Reset to Save Layout. And it should look like this. Go ahead and just press this button right here to get your folders to look like that, and we'll go from there. First, let's talk about motion, positioning, and scale. All video content, so everything on the video side of the timeline. So if this is the audio side down here, then the video side is up here. The video side is holding all the visual stuff. So if I have this turned off and I hit that, I delete that, the audio is still there, but the video is not. That is how we know that the top side is the video side. So everything on the video side can move around and be animated and told to do stuff, told to take a different shape or form or opacity. Open up sequence 1 if you haven't already. And then what I want you to do is I want you to click on the footage on here. You can delete the audio if you want, I don't care. But click on the footage right here. And notice how when it plays, it's taking up the full frame like so. What I want you to do is you're going to click on where it says motion in the effects control panel. If that doesn't pop up, then simply just press this button. It should pop up again. Then you're going to click on motion. And then what you're going to notice is when I do that, now there is this blue box with little dots that should look familiar to you. And you can simply just shrink this like so. If you hover your mouse over any of the dots, you can shrink it like that. If you move your mouse just slightly over a little bit, you'll see this curve. When you click and hold and drag, it rotates like this. And if you simply just go into the middle of the frame like so, and click and hold, you can drag it like this. So what I want you to do is you're just going to go ahead and shrink the clip like this, and you're going to rotate the clip any way, shape, or form you want, and then you're just going to move it to some side of the panel like so. And when you go back and play it, watch what happens. You play it, and it's still playing, but now it's in a different shape like this, right? So what you're going to do now is you're going to go back to your sequence folder, and then you're going to double click on sequence 2, and that will open up sequence 2. This is essentially just a new timeline. We're now going to do something very similar to what you did with the sequence 1. Click on the footage. It's going to pop up this little effects control thing. But instead of just moving stuff around, what I want you to do first is you're going to take your timeline right here and you're going to drag it to the beginning like so. And then you're going to click the stopwatch next to position, then scale, then rotation. All right. If you notice, these blue things lit up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your scroll bar in like so, and you should see that there's these little symbols right here. Those are key points. It's essentially saying at this point in the timeline, these are the values that need to be set. Unsqueeze your scroll bar, and then simply just drag this all the way over here like that. Now, make sure that you've clicked on motion right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing I showed you to do in sequence 1. Shrink the clipper, make it big. You're going to rotate it like this, and then move it somewhere along the project viewer like that. And then drag your timeline slider all the way back to the beginning and play. And notice what's happening now. Congratulations, you just made your first animation. Don't get too ahead of yourself. Now we're going to move on to actual graphics. Anything on the timeline that's represented by this purple box right here is what is going to be called a graphic clip. It can be a still image, it can be a GIF in some instances, it can just be an adjustment layer, which I'll show you guys eventually, not in this video. But go ahead and just click on sequence 3, and your sequence 3 should pretty much look exactly like this. You are going to click on the Halo logo on the left side. In the event that your logo is on a green background like this, you're going to go and do Ultra key. Then you're going to scroll down. Then you're going to click Ultra key right there and drag it onto the logo. You're going to go into the effects panel and then scroll down, and you'll see Ultra key, and you'll see key color, and then you can click this eyedropper right here. Click on that, and it should now go away. Let's pretend that this green background right here on the second instance of the Halo logo is more complicated than that. Let's say it's not even green. It's, I don't know. For whatever reason, we can't get the Ultra key to work. If you go down here, there's a button that says Object Mask Tool. It's usually between the rectangle tool and the hand tool. Go ahead and click on the Object Mask Tool, and then simply make sure that unassigned masks is selected and your Halo logo thing is still selected, and then drag a box around the Halo logo like so. And that should almost perfectly grab the Halo logo. You're going to click and hold on the object mask, and you're going to drag it all the way down to where it says opacity right here, and you're going to let go, and boom, you now have a transparent background. Just like we did in sequence 2, you can do the exact same thing to the Halo logos. We're going to click on the Halo logo right here to make sure it's highlighted. Move this timeline in the effects panel back all the way to the beginning. You're going to turn on position, scale, and rotation, and that will set the additional positions, and then you can move it all the way to the end. As long as motion is selected, then you can just tell the Halo logo to do whatever you feel like. If you want to make it do like 1,000 different backflips, that's fine too. I'm just going to make it do all that. So, and then I'll move it this way. So, watch what happens. We're going to put the Halo logo up, and now it's going to start flipping and doing backflips and all that stuff like that. All right, in sequence 4, this is what I want you to do. It should just look like there's a clip, only a clip here. Why is that? Because you're going to be adding your own text. You are going to click on the text tool right here. You can either do that, or you can just press T on your keyboard. It does the exact same thing. And then that will bring up the text box tool, the same way it does in Photoshop. And you can simply just click, hold, and drag. I recommend just making a bigger box than you think you'll need, because sometimes you'll end up needing more than what you think. So just make a box like that, and then just type in something random like, I don't know, computer science. I am god awful at spelling. Computer science. When you were working on a Photoshop, and some of you guys who have already put text in your videos, if I've typed something and I go to try and edit the size or the color or whatever, it's not going to do it unless I highlight all of it. So you can either just drag your cursor and highlight it all, or you can just hit Control A, does the exact same thing. Then you can play with the font. It can be whatever you want. I'm going to pick that one, I guess. I can move the font size up a little bit, and then I'm going to change. If you want there to be like a little drop shadow or a stroke, you can click on the stroke check mark. You click on that, and then I would recommend just keeping it black like that, and then hitting that. If you want the stroke to be thicker, no comment. You can simply just drag this to the right, and then it'll make, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop saying stroke. I can't with that, but it'll look like that. What I recommend always is center your text. The way you do that is, while it's still highlighted, down here underneath the font size thing, and you're going to click on center align text. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to the toolbar and click on your selection tool or your pointer tool. When you click on that, it changes it back to that blue box that we discussed earlier. And if you shrink it like that, it'll crop the box to be the size you actually need it. And let's say that you don't know where the center of your clip is. If you go down to your properties panel, scroll a little bit, and there should be a tab that says Align and Transform. If it's not already clicked down, go ahead and click it down. And you can use these buttons to align your text to where it needs to go. It needs to be at the bottom center of your video. So ultimately, if I say bottom, you're going to go ahead and click on this far button right here. It says Align Bottom. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the second to left button. And it says Align Center Horizontally. And then boom, you've got that done. You'll notice that the purple clip is shorter than the blue clip, and that is represented by time. The purple clip runs out before the blue clip runs out by like a long shot. So if you need to adjust the amount of time that your motion graphic takes place, you can simply just go over here, and where that little red icon pops up, you can then click, hold, and drag. You're going to click on the motion graphic, and then you're going to make sure your timeline slider is at the very beginning. Instead of going to the motion stuff up here, you want to make sure that where it says text computer science is the drop-down menu is dropped down. You're going to scroll down to where it says transform, and then you're going to click the position, scale, and rotation right there. And then what you can do is you can drag this over here, and then press the align buttons, and then it should pop up like that. So watch as it comes onto my screen. Boom. I would recommend doing yourself a favor and not making that as long as humanly possible. And you can simply just do that by dragging your key points for the end just closer to the beginning points like that. And you notice it should now move a lot faster like that. So now what I want you to do is you're just going to simply go to about this mark right here, and you're going to hit Control K to cut the graphic in half, and you're going to drag this over here. So you're going to go to Window, Extensions, and Film Impact, and you're just going to drop some sort of transition onto it. I'm going to put a pop transition. I'm going to close that, and then what I'm going to do is going to play it, and notice how it now pops up like that. So you can either animate your clip to do whatever you feel like it, or you can simply just put a transition on there. I prefer to just put the transition on there. I don't have all day to edit stuff, but if you feel like editing things to be certain ways, you can do that as well. And yes, I know some people are probably going to ask already, you can get like a little icon of a character and do the same thing. All video clips of every type can do this.